How's it going there, everyone? It's Mr. Zeno here, bringing us a brand new anime discussion for today, guys. And for today's segment, guys, we are going to be talking about episode 2 of Bungou Stray Dogs. Now, guys, this episode was very entertaining, guys. Very entertaining. Thought processes were very on high alert on this episode, guys, because there were so many subplots that were actually happening in this episode. There was literally... a viewer cannot miss any second of this episode, guys, because there was definitely a lot of action going on with little itsy bitsy drama involved in it as well, guys. It's like just a tad salt of it, you know. But like I said, guys, let's get to this review, because this review, my god, guys, I was actually very interested. Now, this episode, guys, very much involved with Sakaguchi Ongo. This episode was clearly the definition of it, but Sakaguchi Ongo was not just the main star. He actually is opening the doors for brand new events unfolding around all over the, I would say, the Bungou Stray Dogs universe in this flashback, guys. Because remember, this is still a flashback, so these events that are occurring right now has nothing to do with, I would say, the current storyline that happened in season 1. So remember, we're still in the flashback. Now, in this flashback, guys, we're actually looking at Sakaguchi Ongo involvement with the, I would say, this brand new group of literary authors. I would say they're calling themselves Mimic, guys. They're called Mimic. Now, we don't know as to who the heck is Mimic, but we know for sure that they're European authors. That's from the looks of it. Seems that it's my opinion, that from what this episode was kind of implying. Because in the beginning of the episode, we see Daizai and Urasaku actually talking to each other at, I was like a bar or some sorts, and they're actually talking about Sakaguchi Ongo, and they're actually already confirming it themselves. These two by themselves with clues that they found themselves. Literally, these two detectives are really actually, they're not even detectives. That's another funny part. These two characters, they're just basically very intellectual mobsters, and they found out by themselves that Sakaguchi Ongo was the actual traitor in the midst of everything. You know, they had so little to go with, and they managed to find out that Sakaguchi Ongo was the traitor, guys. Now, this episode, like I said, it was involved that Danzai was actually saying to Sakaguchi, I'm sorry, not to Sakaguchi, to Urasaku, that there's somebody that from overseas that has special powers, and there are groups of it that are coming to Japan, and that's what made this episode very interesting, and that is Order of the Clock Tower. Apparently somebody from that actually is running away, and they're coming to Japan to do something in Japan. We don't know as to what they're doing, but I'm hoping that the next episode they involve with it, because, you know, like I said, and by the way, that it's actually unfolding within itself, guys, in the universe, because of the fact that Danza even reported to the boss, and it seems like the boss, Oiga, it seems like he probably might know something more along the lines as to what is going on, because it seems that Sakaguchi Ongo is the one that's actually connecting all these groups together. That's the way that I see it this episode, because in this episode as well, guys, we see Urasaku actually look back into the flashback as to the first time they met Sakaguchi Ongo, and it seems to be that, like, I would say when all these three characters met, it seems that it was a very lighthearted, mutual friendship that you can kind of say, but like it's still business to business terms. But like I said, he's just basically the accountant of the Port Mafia. Sakaguchi Ongo is nothing more than that, but because he's very valuable and holds very important information on the members of the Port Mafia, other groups would actually want to be going after him. So like I said, Sakaguchi Ongo is a very interesting character in itself, that we see even in the little flashback that we got with Sakaguchi Ongo, we see that this character, he has like some OCD kind of stuff going on there, because of the fact that when he's inside you could say his own private room where he handles all the financial paperwork, we see that he even has personal feelings, and that he devotes it into his art. I'm sorry, not his art, into his work. Actually, I should say art, because he makes it seem like it's an artistic style of, I would say, of work, because of the fact that he actually makes any person that's died in the catalog of, I would say, the people that they catalog of who's dying, he actually gives them meaning. And I thought to myself, like, wow, that's actually pretty interesting. But like I said, we're not going to digress too much about Sakaguchi Ongo, because it's not only about him, but the events that he's actually doing that's unfolding in the episodes himself. That was it for the flashes. It was cute in a sense of what's going on. But then we see later on in the episode, we see Danzai actually involved with the Port Mafia members, and we see his actual ruthlessness again in this episode with Danzai. Danzai, like I said, he's very clearly different from the first season, guys. In the first season, he was energetic, he was very outgoing, he seemed like a cheerful kind of guy that, you know, just doesn't seem to have a lot of care in the world. In this arc now, holy snap, he's actually very different. He seems to be more stoic, he seems to be more ill-tempered too, guys. This character, he seems to have gone a very drastic change over the years then. So this flashback, we're actually seeing as to how he originally was, and we actually see his involvement with Octagawa as well. And Octagawa in this arc seems to be that he's not really proficient in using his powers, and it seems that Danzai was the one that's actually, I would say, helped him evolve with his powers, but with, I would say, with basically with full physical force. And we actually see that he actually is a very fearful mob leader too at the same time, because Danzai in itself, guys, he clearly wants to get stuff done. It's either his way or the highway. It seemed to be his motto in the Port Mafia, guys, and that was very interesting in itself. Now, we see that Octagawa wants to become, I would say, one of the Port Mafia's executives, or one of the higher executives, but he has a long way to go, because his involvement in this episode basically kind of shattered everything. They shattered everything. Danzai himself actually was going on a perfect plan to actually capture Mimic members, and when he captured these Mimic members, he was going to interrogate them, and then boom, he would have solved this case with Sakaguchi Ango. But no, Octagawa had to go ahead and kill them because he put his emotions at hand, and it clearly shows that he's still just a low-life one of the lower members executives. Now, Danzai clearly pointed out that, you know, he still has a long way to go if he's actually going to be able to overtake Danzai or Urasaku, which I thought was very clearly explained that, you know, my God, he really has a long way to go. And, you know, like I said, you can't put personal feelings on the job itself. And it seems that he still has I'm assuming it's because he seems like he's probably more along the lines as to, he seems more as that kind of character that is just attack first and ask questions later, when in reality he should have actually instead defended himself and said to the hostages who are they, you know, and interrogate him. But like I said, Danzai actually very well explained it to them that, you know, you have to be careful when you have hostages. Do not let yourself be fooled by or raged by emotions, which I thought was very interesting. Now, that was that little scene with Danzai. From there on, we move on to Urasaku actually being the one that actually, I would say, captured this kind of case, you could kind of say, and that is because of the fact that he sees that Ango is actually a double spy. He sees that he's working for Mimic, and he's actually working for, that would say, the Port Mafia, because it actually seems that the boss actually seems to know that what Ango is doing, but it seems that Ango is actually still doing something along the lines of, like, I would say, he's trying to act as one of the Mimic members, but at the same time as part of the Port Mafia members, but he's trying to get closer to the Mimic leader. And the Mimic leader in this episode was actually unveiled, and that his name is Gide, or Jide, I believe, Jide. It seems that he's like a European author, I'm assuming, because when they involved with him, it said that this leader seemed to have a very powerful, power, but they still yet to actually showcase it. Even with Ango's power too, they still haven't been able to showcase his powers as well. But except that in this episode, you know, it seemed more along the lines that they're actually explaining more the relationship between each of the Port Mafia characters within themselves, while all these events are unfolding with Sakaguchi Ango. Like I said, this episode was very entertaining, guys, and I'm glad to see what happened in this episode. I'm hoping also to see if it's actually the episodes are going to continue on with this flashback, because it seems that we're nearly reaching the climax of this arc, guys. And I'm hoping that in the next episode we get to see a little bit more as to what's involved with Sakaguchi Ango, or the Mimic leader themselves, or the Order of the Clock Tower. I'm hoping they get involved in this case as well. But so far, nothing so far seems. But the episode did end off right there and then, with Ango leaving off with some Mimic, I'm assuming, members. We're not too sure who they were. And it seems that he left Oda to die right there at the scene. Now, Oda... this may be Oda's death scene. We're not too sure, because remember, Oda is not seen in season 2. So if he dies in this episode, guys, or in the next episode, it would make sense if he's actually dead, or it would actually explain if he's still alive too, because we don't know that for sure. Because remember, Danzai doesn't seem to actually explain much of his past when back in season 1. So let's hope that, you know, Oda still survives, guys. At least let's hope so. Or at least goes into hiding. Or at least survives the poison that he got from that freaking ball that actually came out of nowhere. I was like, that was a Deus Ex Machina kind of thing going on there. I swear that ball just came out of nowhere, and it didn't even seem to fit in the story as well, guys. That was my honest opinion, guys. It really didn't seem to fit in that story. I was wondering what kind of poison they used in that ball as well. Was the ball made with I would say certain toads, and like certain toad extracts, you know, because toads or frogs, you know, they secrete a poison on their skin. So I was assuming they probably might have coated it with that, but I could be wrong. Could be something else. Like I said, guys, that's the end of this episode, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. But let me know down in the comment section below, guys, on what are you guys' theories on the next episode. Or do you guys think this episode is gonna, I would say this arc is gonna go on to 2 more episodes? Do you guys think it's gonna be in the last episode, I would say the last bit of this whole entire arc? And what are you guys' thoughts on Sakaguchi Ongo? Do you guys think he's actually gonna survive in this flashback, so including Oda as well? Do you think Oda's gonna survive that poison that he actually got? And like I said, guys, let me know down in the comments below what you guys' thoughts, and what do you guys think of Danzai in this episode. Was he I would say the character you guys thought he was, like I said, in season 1, or did you guys see a very different character that as in was portrayed in season 1? But that's it for today, guys. If you guys enjoy my content, give a like, comment, share, and subscribe. As always, guys, have a wonderful day, and as always, guys, hope to see you in the next video. But this is Mr. Zen, signing.